for their family and especially for those kids. Glenda?
Thank you. And the leaders of Detroit's big three automakers went to Washington today. This as President Donald Trump promises to bring more manufacturing jobs to our country. 7 investigator Ross Jones in D.C. with what went down at today's meeting. Ross.
Glenda, good evening. Before today, the big three CEOs hadn't been invited to the White House for 5 years. It took President Trump less than a week to roll out the red carpet. On day 5 of the Trump administration, it was Detroit's big three who were summoned to the White House. The latest salvo in President Trump's ongoing campaign to urge, if not pressure, American companies to build more factories here in the U.S., something GM CEO Mary Barra learned almost as soon as the president walked through the door.
We're going to start building in the United States first.
Joining Barra was Ford's Mark Fields and Fiat Chrysler's Sergio Marchionne, who flew 12 hours from Italy just to get here. The three met Trump for a short breakfast where cameras weren't allowed, but afterward, the president reported that everyone was on the same page.
We're bringing manufacturing back to the United States big league. We're reducing taxes very substantially, and we're reducing unnecessary regulations. And we want regulations, but we want real regulations that mean something.
And Trump promised a streamlined and friendly environmental permitting process, cutting down on red tape, he said, and increasing investment.
I have friends that want to build in the United States. They go many years, and then they can't get their environmental permit over something that nobody ever heard of before. And it's absolutely crazy. And I am, to a large extent, an environmentalist. I believe in it. But it's out of control.
Before leaving the White House today, the three CEOs met briefly with reporters.
I think as an industry, we're excited about working together with the president and his administration on tax policies, on regulation, and on trade to really create a renaissance in American manufacturing.
Now, he's only been in the Oval Office for about 5 days, but the president has taken a number of executive actions. One of those has been very good news for the big three. They talked a bit about it today. We'll tell you more later on 7 Action News at 6. For now, we're live outside the White House. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
Ross, we know Trump often takes to Twitter after meetings like this, so did he say anything that might make news that we'll see later?
That's a very good question, and certainly after every meeting like this, everybody's checking their Twitter feed to see if he's going to say something. Remember, he did have some unflattering comments to say about Ford when they were investing billions of dollars in a Mexican plant that they later decided to kill. But the good news, at least for the big three, is that he had some nice things to say, calling it a very productive meeting and saying he expects that they'll all be able to work together to make America great again. We probably could have predicted that, Glenda.
That is good news. Thank you so much, Ross. Meantime, President Trump